I told you everything. There's no reason for you to keep me here. Let me go!
What's up, Doc?
I am an archaeologist. You can't hold me here like this. I am a hostage. I do not need protection. Bring me back to my hotel at once.
I will take you on a boat ride if you speak of sarcophagi.
Yeah, okay. Anything, just get me out of these caverns and away from these crazies. I think I'm starting to get pneumonia.
Tell me a story about the Ankaran sarcophagus.
The sarcophagus? You went through all that trouble for the sarcophagus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll tell you. But don't you think it would be better to get out of here before those men come back?
Men? No. Just cave meat now.
I guess if you can get all the way here, you deserve the answers. But can I make one request first? After I answer your questions, you help me escape.
Yeah.
All right. Where should I begin?
Tell me a story about the sarcophagus.
Let's start with the history of the Ankaran sarcophagus. That is a long and interesting legend, lost and found throughout the ages. Tell me, are you familiar with the Assyrians?
No.
Well, the Assyrians lived in Mesopotamia, a region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Most of this territory is now modern-day Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Syria.
Ramble on.
They were warmongers, conquerors, a people driven to expand by their kings. Even before the Romans, they migrated their conquered people to the territories to stem revolt. But, I'm afraid I'm getting off the subject.
This one is listening.
Yeah, well, the markings on the sarcophagus seem to hint that it is from sometime between 1050 and 800 BC, which was a period of fierce expansion by the Assyrians. Oddly, for those years, only one king shows up on the historical record.
Still listening.
While most likely he wiped all evidence of his predecessor's existence or passed the name to his heirs, one monarch, Mesarach, the one-eyed king, is given credit for the territory and achievements of this time. But he would have had to have been over 250 years old, like Dracula or something.
Or something?
I find it hard to believe a sarcophagus with a person as important as Mesarach could remain in, pristine or intact condition for so many years. But this is who is believed to be contained within.
Positive?
Men educated guess. Maybe you have not heard. It was stolen from the museum before we had a chance to open it. Usually we use equipment to carbon date, X-ray, and take air samples before we pry open the lid.
A real vampire? Really?
You know, it is interesting that you ask me that. The goddess on the outside of the sarcophagus was Lamastu. In Assyrian myth, Lamastu was an evil demoness who preyed on humans. Many people cite her as the mother of vampire myth,
And?
The engravings on and found around the sarcophagus portray a regal figure drinking the blood of his enemies. Now, this image is found in many cultures, specifically among those of royal lineage, but there is a quite scientific explanation.
That he was the first LARPer?
A disorder known as porphyria. In short, it is caused by a deficiency of the iron in the blood, and in many cultures, for the nobility that could conceivably get away with the cure, the treatment was to drink human blood.
He knew the sweet ecstasy of, he drank blood?
Perhaps. Drinking the blood of your enemies is, if nothing else, symbolic. It can inspire fear in your foes and dissidents. Don't misunderstand me. I in no way believe it was a vampire. Vampires. That's what caused this whole mess. These maniacs believe they exist.
Why did you discover it?
That is, you see, in archaeology, one can spend years looking for a dig site, following local rumors, studying old maps. It's a complicated process, very boring.
Still listening.
Finding and organizing a dig is the least interesting part of an archaeologist's job. Trust me, you don't want to hear about it.
Lying.
I don't know what would make you believe that. I have been very forthcoming with you so far. I think that maybe you are not as familiar with the process as me.
It called to you. No. It wrote you.
Okay, I tell you. Yeah, I was not even aware of the sarcophagus' existence until I received a package with no reply address in the mail. Inside was the information on how to find it and the key. Please keep it a secret, or I could be ruined.
Mesero is inside, with no doubt.
That I can't be sure of, nor can anyone. But I promise you it is more likely to be filled with, gummy bears than vampires. Perhaps maybe a mummy, but not likely the kind to go about chasing Abbott and Costello.
I like that movie. But can you tell me another story about vampires?
Not much, really. I'm an archaeologist, not a mythologist. But I do know that Lamastu, the Assyrian demoness, was thought to have been the inspiration for Lilith, the first wife of Adam in the Jewish Old Testament, another source of the vampire myth.
No more stories. I want in.
Ah, quite interesting. There is a surprisingly complex mechanical lock on the face of the sarcophagus. By sheer luck, we were able to find the key not far from the sarcophagus. Why no one ever found it and robbed it? It's perplexing.
I want it, and I can't wait for Christmas.
How strange, you would ask. I haven't seen the key since it was loaded onto the Elizabeth Dane in Turkey. It was stolen before the sarcophagus even. I am still hopeful that the police find both pieces before the contents can be disturbed.
Where's the spare?
No, it's not the kind of key you can copy at the hardware store. It's actually very sophisticated, and I meant to study it at the museum. I've answered all your questions. Do you think now you could please get me out of here? I don't care who you are or why you've had so many questions about the sarcophagus. I just want to leave this place.
Let's go on a cruise together. Just you and me.
Thank you, my friend. I don't know where you came from, but I will never forget this kindness.
Don't mention it. Or better do. Well, come on, Sock Man, let's go. Oh, Jesus. Yes, Bob?
Time of judgment is here.